Howdy, it's Ryan from Arnie Music, and today we're going to do a special video. Today I'm here with one of my students. What's your name?
Breanna Trammell.
Breanna Trammell, yes. Breanna's been taking lessons for 3 years this month. Right. Doesn't seem like that long, does it?
No.
Alright, so Breanna, tell everybody, how old are you?
13, turning 14 in August.
13. And so you started taking lessons when you were?
10.
10. Now when did you start playing drums?
When I was 10.
When you were 10.
For my 10th birthday, my dad got me a drum set.
Cool, what kind of drum set?
It was Ludwig drum set.
Look at the camera.
Ludwig, okay, I'm sorry.
Because the people are staring.
I know, but you're asking me the questions.
Now, why did they get you the drum kit? Like, what happened before you got a drum kit?
Well, mostly we got Guitar Hero, and I got hooked on that game, and then we got Rock Band, and I got really, really good at the drums, apparently, because I went all the way on expert, and I asked my parents when I was 8 if I could have a drum set, and they said, I don't know, it's just a phase, but then, you know, most kids do that, and so I just asked for 2 years, and they were like, listen, she's really good at the Rock Band thing, so if she has a real drum set, let's see what she can do. So they bought me one at some church, and
yeah, so you got the Rock Band thing when you were like 8.
I was 6 when we first got Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock.
With the little drum set thing?
It didn't have drum set yet. Whenever I was like 7, we got the first Rock Band that came out.
So you start at 7. You start playing Rock Band on the little
toy drums.
the toy electric kit. Okay, and so you wanted a kit, and your parents were like, no.
Yeah.
I remember that's what they told me. It was like, yeah, she wanted a kit. We're like, no. So once you got up to being able to play on expert on the drums, on Guitar Hero, Rock Band, whatever, then it was like you wanted to play the real drums.
Yes.
All right. And so that's when you started, you got the drum kit, then your parents came, they found out about us at Arnie Music, and you started taking lessons then. So what did you think about lessons when you first started?
I was really scared. I was really scared because I was at home whenever they didn't even ask me. They didn't call or anything when they were like, hey, we found this place, it's called RNA, and there's some awesome guy named Ryan that's going to teach you how to play drums. No, they didn't say that at all. I was just sitting home with my brother playing video games with them, and then all of a sudden they're like, look at this piece of paper, and it said RNA lessons, however much it was for each lesson at the time. Like,
yeah, don't tell me about
it. I was like, I don't even remember. And so
we've gone up since then.
I was like, you got me lessons? And they're like, yeah, aren't you excited? And I was like, oh no, because I was like real nervous. I didn't really like play in front of anyone except for mom, dad, and my brother. But whenever I came here and met you, and we discussed how much we like metal music and stuff like that, then I was like, this guy's way cooler than I was expecting.
Yeah, who's your favorite band?
Metallica. It's all over me at the moment, so.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I was surprised because you don't meet a lot of girls who are interested in drums. It's not that people always think that, well, girls shouldn't play drums or girls can't play drums. And that's not the truth at all. Usually girls are really good at music. Doesn't matter what the instrument is.
Yeah.
But it's just not as many seem to be interested in drums as like piano or violin or whatever.
Right.
So it's a little bit, not as many girls do drums. And then not as many girls that do drums are into Metallica and what other bands do you like?
Like Avenged Sevenfold and Pantera, and I do little dubstep covers to Skrillex.
Yeah, and Avenged Sevenfold.
Avenged Sevenfold, yeah, that's what I said.
A little bit of a fan.
Just a tad.
So I thought that was interesting because my background is really kind of more in the hard rock sort of stuff. And so to have a student that's into that same kind of stuff, and then as a girl who's not typically into that kind of stuff, it's kind of like, all right, this will be interesting. So you were in 5th grade when you started taking lessons.
Yes.
And then, of course, where do you go to school? Let the world know.
Martins Mill.
Martins Mill, Texas.
Martinsville, Texas, yes.
It's a pretty small school.
Yes, very small. There's like maybe 500 people.
Wow. In the whole school?
In the whole school.
Like from kindergarten to 12th grade?
Yes.
That is pretty small. But y'all do have a band program.
Yes. I mean, It's a
You
band
have one.
program.
You have one.
It's a good one for the size of our school.
Yeah.
And for basketball being such a huge thing at our school.
That's true. Your Martinsville basketball is pretty huge. They win a lot of stuff.
We just won our championship this year, actually. We're state champions right now.
State champions in basketball. So Breanna started in 5th grade lessons in the spring, March, because this is March right now. So
Yes.
this is 3 years. 5th grade, now band started in 6th grade, so you kind of had a leg up.
Yeah, a little head start on it.
Yeah, when you got into the 6th grade band program. You'd already been in lessons through the spring and summertime. And so taught you how to read percussion music, drum set, snare drum stuff. And so going into the band program, having already been in lessons for a little while, was that a good thing?
Yeah, because, I mean, everyone else was like, oh my gosh, Breanna, what does that say? Like, everyone in percussion would walk over to me and say, like, ask me questions rather than our band director. They'll be like, I don't get it, can you show me? So I'd get, like...
What's an 8th note? How do you play 16th notes?
I was just like, oh boy. I was like, thank God for lessons.
Well, it's a nice feeling because a lot of times people don't have that opportunity. And it's nice to sort of be, especially at school, in junior high, to be the person that people come to and like, how do you do this? And you're the person with the answers.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit nicer than the question people going, what is this?
Yeah,
I don't know. You know, you feel dumb. They're not dumb, but you feel that way about yourself because you just don't know the information yet, kind of a thing. So it was good for that. All right, now so you're in 8th grade. Going to be a freshman next year.
Yeah.
Now you've also gone and done like summer band camp stuff, right?
Yes.
Where did you go?
Monticello, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. Was that University of Arkansas
Yes.
band camp? Now what was that like?
It was awesome, and I've gone ever since 6th grade, and it's really fun because there's like one-on-one stuff too, and then there's like ensembles for percussion and each section of the band, and you make a lot of friends there, and you know, I still talk to my friends from band camp all the time. So.
Yeah. Well, how was it going in? Did you have a difficult time with the music or anything there? Or?
Well, whenever I went to the junior high band camp the first time, it wasn't hard because I was like, oh, we do this in lessons and at school. But whenever I went to junior high last year, that was a...
Junior high or high school?
High school. I went to the high school one last year, and it
So in
was
7th grade, you went to the high school band camp?
No, 7th grade, I went to, well...
This past
summer.
Summer.
This past summer, I was in the high school one. And it was hard. I hadn't gotten to try out music at all, and I was just like, holy cow, how do I do this? Mm-hmm. So it was hard, but I ended up getting in the first band and performing with them. Had a really good time, though.
So as the summer between your 7th and 8th grade year, you went to the high school band camp. Yes. And you made it in the top band?
Yes. Trust me, I don't even know how I did it.
You played really well.
Apparently.
So that's been good. Excellent. So let's talk about some drum set stuff. If you've been watching our channel on YouTube at all, you've seen some videos already of our recitals of Breanna playing. First recital, you played some Metallica. You played...
Sad But True.
Sad But True. I love that song. It's one of my favorite Metallica songs.
I love it.
And then the second recital, we did another Metallica song.
Yes.
Again.
Because I'm just huge on it.
Yeah, wherever
I may roam.
That's right. That's a good song. And then we decided on the next recital.
Yeah,
to change things up.
Yeah, you picked the song too.
I did.
You were just like, hey Breanna, let's play Message in a Bottle by the Police. I'm just like, what? I didn't have a clue what happened.
No, not the Who, the Police.
The Police. I was like, I didn't have a clue what was happening. I was just like, I liked the song. It's just a huge change.
Yeah, completely different style-wise.
Yeah, but it was really fun. I like to have different types of drumming. It's a challenge and it's fun.
Because Stuart Copeland is no Lars Ulrich, right?
Well.
Yeah, but a whole different style. Like Stuart Copeland's...
Yeah, within style, it's just hard to determine.
Yeah, and so she completely drug her feet on that. She did not want to learn it. Until finally it got down right to the wire, right before the recital.
Like,
you had to do it, and then you came back in a week, and it was like,
yeah,
you had it.
Yeah, like it was 3 weeks before the recital, and I was just like, oh man, I got this recital in like 3 weeks, and I haven't practiced this at all. I've been busy with Avenged Sevenfold, Metallica.
Not practicing what your lessons.
Yeah, don't do that. Do what your teacher tells you to do.
Yeah. So then you got it down. So that was great, and that's a tricky song.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the next recital we did, the next one was the Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah, No One Knows.
No One Knows, which is a pretty crazy drum set thing.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why I wanted to play, is mostly because of the solo, and I just thought to myself, man, everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, look at her, she's playing that awesome solo, and I was like, man, I gotta learn it.
Yeah, there's some really good drum parts in Dave Grohl's. Dave Grohl's pretty good.
Yeah, he's got the beard thing and the long hair.
Yeah.
And he's awesome, so.
So that was a pretty good change. That was good. We haven't decided on the next one. We got to figure out a song.
Yeah.
So I'll probably put up links of each one of those little. If someone wants to click on it, they can go see.
Yeah.
Queens of the Stone Age.
And
Here.
Yeah.
Or there.
Or wherever it's
or wherever. But so that was great. Let's see what else. So we talked about your favorite drummers. We got.
No, we discussed my favorite bands.
Favorite bands. Favorite bands. Okay, so tell everyone who are the drummers that you look up to.
Mostly Jimmy the Red Soul of Avenged Sevenfold. Even though the way he died was not the way it should have happened.
Sure.
It was his drumming and everything he did while he was still here that really inspired me. The way he played, and it was very Mike Portnoy, very Dream Theater.
Yeah.
Because that was his hero.
Right.
And so I just remember listening to him the first time, and I was like, oh my gosh, this dude is awesome. And I just wanted to be like him, and when he passed, it broke my heart. I felt so terrible, but whenever I thought about it, I was like, well, if he was still here, and if he knew me or anything, I mean, he'd be like, do it, just keep going. And that's just what it is. You just got to keep going no matter what.
Yeah, he's a really good drummer. And it's kind of funny that it's like, his hero is Mike Portnoy. He's pretty amazing. And then so he took what Mike did and put his thing on it, and so but in turn inspired you to play. Who else do you like?
I like Lars. You know.
You like the Lars.
Lars. Everyone's got to like Lars a little bit.
Well, not everybody likes him.
Not everybody, but, you know. I mean,
but
even James Hetfield was a little iffy there for a while.
Yeah, but if you didn't have Lars, you couldn't really have Metallica the way.
No, I mean, he's one of the main reasons why Metallica is here today. Because if it wasn't for him, then, you know.
It's kind of the combination of people that make a band a band.
Yeah.
And really the heart and soul of Metallica is really James and Lars.
Yeah, because they're the ones who got together and were like, hey, dude, let's form a band.
Yeah. You're going to get a lot of, like, Metallica hate comments, probably.
Yeah, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't like
What about Kirk? Kirk's great.
I love Kirk.
Kirk's great, you know?
His hair is awesome.
He's got some cool guitars.
Awesome guitar skills.
Yeah.
All of them are talented.
Yeah, well, same thing. You know, when I was learning to play as a kid, guitar and drums, it was like Metallica.
Yeah. That's most people are like, whenever they're interested in metal, most people are like, Metallica, definitely. They inspired me to do this. It's what inspired my dad to play guitar.
Yeah. Well, the first song of theirs I ever heard or saw was One.
Oh, that
and
was mine too.
What is this?
Yeah, it's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and people that sort of like hate on Lars these days, it's like, well, you know, after the Black Album, the drum parts got simpler and less complex. But if you go back and listen to Justice for All, it's pretty crazy. And then from there, if you go back to Master of Puppets, it's like, oh my gosh. You know?
He's awesome. I mean, even still now, he can still play those songs, and it's awesome to listen to the older stuff. Because Justice for All is definitely my favorite Metallica album, and just listening to little fills that he plays. Yeah,
and if you go back and watch, they had a box set that came out in the '90s that had the concert from Seattle, like 1989 or 88 or 89 in Seattle, Washington, and they were playing. It was on that and Justice for All tour, and watching it was like, he was killing it, you know. So,
so
everybody kind of thinks Lars today. It's like, well, you know.
Yeah.
But it was Metallica as a band really inspired me
Yeah.
too. So. All right, so you got the Rev, Lars. Who else? Who else do you look up to? You like?
I really appreciate Mike Portnoy. I really like his drumming style because, it was a lot like the Revs, and I've, of course, loved the Revs' drumming style.
Because if there wasn't Mike, there probably would.
No,
Jimmy would not have been the same.
Jimmy would not have been at all. I don't think he'd really be interested in drums if it weren't for Mike. So, and I like Dream Theater anyways. They're a really awesome, talented group. And I just appreciate Mike because he took the Revs' place there for a little bit, finished up the Nightmare album for him because he knew that he was Jimmy's hero, so he was like, man, I gotta do this for him, so he did it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to step in and, finish that out. So that's the really good part of that story. We won't go into the rest
of all
the Dream Theater story after that.
Yeah, the Dream Theater story was insane.
So we got Mike. Anybody else, drum set wise or anything?
I don't know. I like all drummers, really. I mean, I appreciate all of them for, going out there and making their music. I mean, even country drummers, I'm like, man, go out there and do it. Put your heart into it. I mean, even if I don't listen to that music genre, I mean, I appreciate what they do.
Yeah, definitely. And there's some monster drummers out there that play music that a lot of people might not think is really that technically demanding or that cool or whatever. But you never know, like some of these guys who are behind the kit doing the job, most of them can play a lot more advanced stuff or cool stuff than what you think. But they're doing what they got to do to get the job done. And, at the end of the day, they're making a living for their family playing drums.
Exactly.
And you can't beat that. That's a good thing.
Oh, and we can't forget, what's his name from Pantera?
What's his name from
I can't think of it at the moment. I always...
Starts with a V.
Oh, Vinnie Paul, my gosh.
Vinnie
I always
Paul.
get his name and Vince Neil's name mixed together, and it doesn't help that I saw him at the Motley Crue concert that I went to. It was on the giant screen, and I was like, ooh, it's Vinnie Paul, and then I got it mixed with Vince Neil, and I was like...
Vinny, Vince, it kind of runs together.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he was a big influence of mine, too, as a drummer as a kid.
Love Pantera.
Yeah, and because Vinny does a lot of... It's not necessarily flashy, like Mike Portnoy kind of stuff, or the Red kind of stuff. But the thing I like about Vinnie Paul is he talks about being in band in like junior high and high school and going through the band program and learning all of his drum rudiments and that kind of stuff. And,
he was
drum
a
core things.
drum major in high school.
Well, he was in the band. He did drum line stuff. But he also was in the jazz band.
Yeah.
And him and Rex, I think, would get in trouble in jazz band class for playing like Rush songs.
Yeah.
And stuff. The thing I like about Vinny, because he take all the rudiments, like flams and flam taps.
And he does it with his feet. That's what's so awesome is that I listen to like This Love and stuff like that, and he just starts doing crazy stuff with his foot pedal, and I'm just like, you're awesome. I want double foot pedal skills like that.
Yeah, so he takes all those rudimental stuff, paradiddles, flam taps, things, and it's like...
Yeah, it's just weird. It's hard. I think that's harder than doing just straight 16ths, personally, because you got to practice that, and it's so unnatural. With straight 16ths with your feet, you can do that as long as you got good timing. I mean, it's just, you got to keep faster and faster. But with all the different rudimental stuff, that's hard. That's really hard. Just doing it with your hands is hard, but really doing it with your feet, that's
that's something I suggest to all my other drum students too, is we'll go over something like, they didn't think it was that big of a deal. I'm like, all right, now go home and do it with your feet.
Yeah.
They're like, what?
You'll say that to me. You'll joke with me and be like, okay, play that with your feet. And I'm just like, oh, no.
Yeah, with your feet. Flam taps with your feet. So, flam tap dancing. Good. Cool. Yeah, those are, great guys. Those are all good influences to have,
Neil Peart, too. I mean,
Neil's okay.
Yeah. You gotta appreciate the solo in Tom Sawyer, though. I mean, I think everybody does.
Everybody loves Neil's,
Yeah.
That's what we're debating on right now, whether we'll actually do a Rush song at a recital sometime. So Breanna will have to play some Rush, maybe.
Maybe.
There's we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to play.
Because then I'll have to play the guitar parts. We'll have to have somebody who'll play the bass parts.
Yeah.
So that'll be tricky. But
who would sing Rush?
That's another problem too.
Because his voice is awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool sounding. I like it.
Yeah.
It's just that when you listen to it, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's kind of like Geddy Lee's like what's like Ozzy or
Yeah.
any like iconic singer that's like, how are you gonna copy that? Like Robert Plant. It's like Robert Plant. How are you gonna sing like that?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. That would be tricky because I don't know that Angela would want it.
Yeah, I mean.
I might not be able to talk her into that.
Yeah.
Steve probably couldn't do it.
No, I mean he could sing AC/DC, but.
Yeah, that was tough enough.
Yeah, I mean that dude's voice was crazy.
Yeah. Let's see. We're almost out of time. Oh, man. Let me think of something else. What was? Oh yeah. So what kind of music are your parents into?
Basically the same. I mean, since the new generation with all the dubstep stuff, I'm into that. And my dad likes it too. He'll listen to Skrillex with me and he's like, man, that's so cool. Did you hear the bass drop or something like that?
Yeah.
My mom's not all into Skrillix. She's like 2 songs and that's it, okay? Because she doesn't really care for it. But I get most of my music taste, I guess, from Dad. Because he's like way into metal like I am. Like Metallica and Pantera, he got me into that. And then he's into the newer metal bands like Avenged Sevenfold and Five Finger Death Punch.
So having parents who are into rock music probably...
Yeah, it helped.
And your mom's a big fan of the...
Like U2 and...
Who else?
Oh, the New Kids on the Block and all that stuff. She actually is going to their concert in like a couple months.
Yeah. No. I mean, there's somebody she really, really likes, right?
Oh... are you talking about Billy Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day.
Yeah.
They're a great band too. Actually, Linkin Park kind of got me started on drums too.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool.
My dad had the Live in Texas video.
Oh, yeah.
And he was actually there, so he was in the video too. And he would put it in the little DVD player whenever I was like 3, and they'd get me a couple spoons and lay out DVD cases, and I would pretend to play drums along with Linkin Park. And scream along with it.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. That's new. I just knew your mom really likes Green Day.
Yeah, she just really likes Billy Joe. That's her thing. She's just like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. I'm like, okay, Mom.
And you're not a huge Green Day.
I do like Green Day, and they were my first concert, and they were really awesome.
Yeah. They are good live.
Yeah, they're really good live. Lots of swear words, though.
Yeah. All right, now the other thing that Breanna does that I'm just like, what? Where did this come from? You said you like Skrillix.
Yes.
So one of your favorite things to do when you're practicing drums, you're doing your snare drum solo stuff, right?
Yes, I am.
Portraits in Rhythm.
Yes.
Right? But when you get done with all that stuff, you like to play drums along to Skrillix.
Yes.
Why?
Well...
I don't mean to say it that way. I mean, like, why do you like that? Or what draws you to that?
Well, he's so different, and I've never heard, like, whenever I heard him, I was like, what am I listening to? It sounds like a bunch of car alarms going off or something.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, okay, but then I started getting into it, and I was like, everything's got a beat to it, and I was like, well, maybe drums would go along in there, because I'd find myself drumming along to it, and I was like, let's try it on the real set. So I tried to play probably one of his most famous ones, Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites. Mm-hmm. And I started playing that, and I was like, that's fun. Because I can do all kinds of stuff with all the different noises. You can add in cymbals and toms, and it's just really fun. So I have like probably 7 different covers of his songs.
Of the Skrillex stuff?
Yeah.
Just playing along?
Yeah. I mean, there's like rock and roll and scatter. Just all kinds of cool stuff.
You should do a video of that.
Yeah, I've wanted to. I just haven't done it.
We should make that happen. So.
Yeah, we should.
Oh, and real quick, what kind of drums do you play?
What kind of drums do I play? What do you mean?
Yeah, what's your brand of drums?
Oh, they're Pearl now. Remo, that's it.
Remo?
Yes,
Remo.
I've got that.
Remo heads.
Yes, Remo
Pearl
heads.
drums. Tell us about your sticks.
Metallica drumsticks.
Yeah, the head ones. Those are pretty durable, right?
Yeah. You can tell it's been through a lot if you kind of see all the scratched up stuff there from the cymbals and hitting the rims.
Yeah. They're durable, they don't break.
No, they don't. I mean, I've managed to crack it a little because that's just me.
Because you rock so much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. So this was Breanna. Now you have a YouTube channel, don't you?
Not yet, I don't think.
Somewhere.
Somewhere out there, maybe. I don't even know.
Right.
I'll try to
But you can see her on RNA Music's channel on the recital stuff, and we'll put some things up. And when she gets hers sorted out, you can subscribe to her channel and check out all the drumming awesomeness from East Texas, deep in the heart of Texas. So. All right, thanks for watching. I've been Ryan. This has been
Breanna.
And keep the music alive.